small step at a time.
That's right. Welcome to the Profit by Design podcast. We are so excited to have guests with us today. I am Melissa Kay, the lead strategist at Tap the Potential and the Chief Dream Officer. And joining me is Dr. Sabrina Starling, the founder of Tap the Potential, the business psychologist and TEDx speaker.
Yay.
Caitlin Beaver, our success lead at Tap the Potential and How to Hire the Best Strategist. And Tammy Little. Tammy is a phenomenal client in our Better Business, Better Life program, and just recently earned a Great Place to Work spotlight in How to Hire the Best. And Tammy, we are so thrilled to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So first, I'd like to introduce Tammy. She is the founder and CEO of Ghost Crew, FTC Group, and Summit Accounting Partners. And Tammy brings over 3 decades of diverse accounting experience and a fervent drive for business success. Tammy has a BSBA in accounting from Appalachian State University. And Tammy began her career in public accounting, mastering tax and audit before transitioning over to corporate accounting. And as a controller for various mid-sized and large companies, Tammy's strategic acumen expanded beyond accounting to encompass areas like insurance, payroll, tax compliance, human resources, and technology. And this comprehensive background uniquely positions her to understand the challenges that businesses face in achieving success. In 2007, Tammy founded Turning Leaf Solutions, prioritizing exceptional client service and rapid growth. Recognizing the importance of specialization, she strategically transitioned the firm to a larger entity. And after a decade of success, thus giving her the time to decide what was next in her entrepreneurial journey. In 2018, Tammy embraced a new challenge in the cannabis industry, showcasing her adeptness in financial statements and managing 280E 471C requirements. Beyond compliance, her passion lies in optimizing business operations for sustainable success. Tammy's commitment to excellence and her insights into the cannabis, accounting, and other niche industries make her indispensable to businesses in these sectors. Tammy, welcome. We are so thrilled to have you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So let's just sit for a moment in this celebration of you earning the Great Place to Work spotlight. I'm curious, what does this mean to you, and why did you sign up for How to Hire the Best?
For me, it means a lot because my team, I have a small team, and they work so hard. And we really take care of our clients really well, but we're growing rapidly. And our growth is organic from our clients. And it's not like you can tell your client, sorry, we don't have the capacity to help you anymore. So we had to make a decision to, hire more people to support our growth. And I had to find rock stars just like what I have now. And, that's not always easy. So I needed help to figure out how to do that. So I called you guys.
And we're so glad you did, Tammy. What were some of the challenges you were having in hiring before you started implementing How to Hire the Best and working on being an employer of choice for the A players that you want to attract?
I think being able to spotlight what we do, because I think we kind of take it for granted. We do a lot and we really take care of our clients, and that just seems normal to us because that's what we do, but it's not normal to everyone. And, you do an interview and someone sounds great, but maybe you didn't ask the right questions. And you think you're doing a good job, but you're not. And so we had several people come through where the expectations I had were not what they thought the expectations were, and we weren't communicating correctly. And oftentimes as a business owner, I think you think everyone thinks like you do or should think like you do, and when they don't, it's tough. And so we were struggling with how to communicate with new hires and people that we were searching for.
I think a lot of business owners can relate to that, and team members too, like those who might be looking for a job. And I know that A players, when they're looking for a job, they're not looking for a job, they're looking for an opportunity. And so what I've seen you do is really embrace what makes you guys unique in what you're doing and the way that you serve your clients, and using that to attract the right people for your team. So if you want to talk a little bit about what you have done differently now that makes you a great place to work, and how is that helping you attract those A-player rock stars that you've got now?
It's really interesting because when you think about a job ad, I think that's probably the biggest thing that we've gained from the program is, when you see a job ad, it's here's the job, here's what you do, give us a call. And our job ads look nothing like that. And, we're very open and honest in our job ad about who we are. And, it could be good for you, it could be bad for you. And here's why. Here's our values. Here's what you're doing. Just so people can look at a job ad and know exactly who we are, and have them make the decision before they call us if it's the right place for them. And I think that's been the biggest part. And it's been cool for us because we're doing the same thing with our clients. And to see the difference in the candidates that they're getting just from a job ad, and making a simple change that you don't really think about. And I will share, we posted a job ad this weekend, and I had someone actually call me and say, after reading our job ad and seeing our values, he had to come and work for us. And he said, I haven't even applied yet. I just wanted to know how to come and work for you. And
oh my goodness.
That's great. So, I think that says it all.
So Tammy, you've got to tell us, what are you honest about in your job ad when you're saying, like, this is who we are and these are our values? What is that that's attracting someone who just wants to work for you?
We're very open and honest about, we work very hard, and there's a very strong work ethic, and people are very dedicated, but it's flexible. We're 100% remote. I have people in India. I've got people in North Carolina. We just hired someone in New York. I don't know where people are going to come from because we're all remote. And so I think the flexibility, people like that, but also the fact that we're very honest, and that's in our job description, that we're honest, we're loyal, we're dedicated to our clients, and those are important. So it's out there in everything we do.
Well, Tammy, you love your team members so much. Yeah. Your passion for your team is so admirable. Like, you show up consistently every other week in our Better Business, Better Life program, focused on how you can grow your team and get support for your team members and really improve the quality of their lives right through their work, and how you can best support them. And it just amazes me, your level of commitment, because you're also then showing up to the How to Hire the Best program, the coursework and the office hours. You're so dedicated. And you've been on this journey for quite a few months. And I'm curious, what has changed? What has shifted in your mindset or your company culture as a result of being in the How to Hire the Best program?
I think it's probably communication. And I'm a very driven person, and I just expected everyone to be the same. Why do you not want to be just like me? And they don't. And that's what makes us great is we're all so different. But it's now being able to see them differently and listen to them and realize what's important to them may not be what's important to me, but we can meet in the middle. And that's been very different. Some of my folks would rather work than have a meeting with me because they're very driven too. They want to work, but they see that I'm trying to, you can't do it overnight. And that's sometimes hard is you see all these great things and you're like, okay, I want to do it all. And you can't, but at least you're trying. So we have our one-on-one meetings. We're having staff meetings now, which are things that we never did before. So it's an opportunity for everyone to talk and listen, and you learn things that you may not have learned before. So it's just an opportunity to communicate, I think, which helps everyone.
Wow.
I love that, Tammy, because in my experience, what makes great teams is when there's an appreciation for the personality differences on the teams. Because different personalities have different strengths and different weaknesses. And there's the opportunity for someone's strengths to shine and help someone else overcome a weakness and the different perspectives. So I'm hearing that you're putting a team together that has a common value around taking exceptional care of your clients. Like that's the non-negotiable that I'm hearing the thread through all of this. But you have to be dedicated, but you don't have to be a workaholic to do that. And you're appreciating different work styles on your team as people are dedicated to serving your clients.
Yeah. And it's hard. I'm not going to say it's easy for me to not want everyone to go all the time, but we're trying and we're hiring more people to try to help that so that I guess everyone doesn't become me, because it's still very difficult not to work all the time, but we're trying, and trying to give everyone that option is I think a big part of this is trying to show them there is a life on the other side, and we've got to hire people just like them to do it. And so everyone is kind of buying into if we interview better, if we train better, if we onboard better, they're going to stay and they're going to help you. But if we don't do these things right now, we're not going to get any better and get out from under what we're in.
Yes. And, along those lines, one of the things that has really impressed me about you as a leader is your commitment to taking care of your team members. And sometimes that means making sure there's appropriate expectations from the clients with respect to your team members' availability. So there's that drive, like, we want to be here, we want to take exceptional care of you. And yet you recognize, like, your team can't be responsive 24/7 because that will burn them out. And I've seen you walking that line and balancing that with your team.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I have to protect them from what we have going on, because we could all work 24/7 and it would never be done. But I think it's hard to recognize, that you have to stop sometimes and have a life.
Absolutely. And I think that the ability to work remotely, to be dedicated, but to be flexible in the time. And I know you have common times where you want people to be available, but that flexibility is a huge perk. And it's what a lot of A players are looking for in a great place to work. You mentioned something in passing, and I think it's very important to highlight that, and that is your onboarding and training and how you've improved that. Because as a new team member coming in and as an A player, like we want to do our best.
Mhm.
And if we come into an environment where there's not a clear onboarding system and training system, we're not set up to succeed. And you're putting attention on that. So would you talk a little bit about how you're setting your A players up for success after the hire?
Sure. It's probably one of my most favorite things that we've done. We actually set up a template that lists all of our clients, everything about them, who the owners are, the address, everything they would need to know. We have an agenda for them for their first week. It links to everyone they're doing training with, and it puts it on their calendar. There's links to every training video that we have and walks them, through how to do each day. I'm a tech geek, so I love stuff like that. But it's been really nice to be able to sit down on day one with someone new and present that to them, because the people that we've hired have never seen anything like that and have been so impressed that, one, we took the time to do it and that it's in their lap. Here's what I'm going to do day one and day two and day three. And it links to everything in our system. So it's been really helpful for people to not wonder, what are you going to do? Because we're remote. You can call someone. You can, text them or chat them on Teams, but it's all right in front of you. And so there's no wondering what's next, So that's probably been my favorite thing that I've gotten out of all of this is our onboarding and our training.
Yeah, that's tremendous peace of mind for you, and knowing that your clients are going to be served well, and also for the A players who are joining your team. And when you say that they're telling you, like, the feedback over and over is they've never seen anything like it or experienced anything like it, that's tremendous.
Yeah, it's a good feeling to something that's so simple. It took us a couple of hours to put it together, and we're still working on it and making improvements. But to know that you did that and other people don't, and I've worked at plenty of places where you get there and like, what am I going to do? Yeah. Where you're just left in an office and what do I do now? And we've taken care of that. So, I hope it shows people that we care enough to try to take care of you from day one. So that's my hope.
Yes. Well, it sounds like it's happening. Caitlin, you have worked hand in hand with Tammy in the How to Hire the Best program as she's been making these changes. I want to let you share some of your perspective about what you've seen in the growth that's happened.
So Tammy, what I love so much about you, and this is kind of piggybacking off of what Melissa said, my favorite questions and things that you're thinking with when you come to How to Hire the Best is about how to love on your team and how to support them individually. And what's interesting is you are someone who introspects a lot and is very curious about yourself and your mindset and your impact on others. And there's a lot of power in that. And seeing you overcome some of those blind spots and feel more confident about communicating not just the expectations, but also your passion, your drive, your immutable laws. Sign me up. It's just really incredible. It's really incredible to be able to serve employers like you who really understand the needs of their team and who are just on a mission to make sure that their team is protected so that their cup is filled and they can pour into clients. And you're always troubleshooting, communicating, being curious, and empowering your team. And that's a huge piece in becoming an employer of choice, is being a leader that shows up in the service of others and being able to help guide and lead them. And sometimes you may not always have the answers, but you will seek them out, you will find them, and you're resourceful enough that you'll turn that action into system, and then you even take it a step further and you share it with your clients, and you share that with those who may not have learned some of these hiring strategies as it relates to our How to Hire the Best course. So I love the passion that you have. And if an EA player is listening, which we know that you are, just know that working for Tammy Little means that you're going to be taken care of, and you're going to not just have a job, you're going to have a career trajectory. And she cares about you and wants to see you succeed. And she wants to love on you just as much as she loves on her clients. And I think that treating your team members like your clients is incredible. And it's something that every employer should be doing.
So Tammy, go ahead.
It's not easy. And I mean, I don't think you don't just get there. I think you have to keep working on it because everyone's so different, and understanding them is, a mission that you have to do forever.
So, yeah, the understanding piece is, and that's your curiosity that's underneath that drives that, like that desire to understand your team members. So if there are A players listening who are like, sign me up, I want to work with Tammy. Tammy, where do they go to learn more about your company and apply?
You can go to myghostcrew.com and apply there. Any jobs that we have currently are listed on our website. You can also go to ftcgroupllc.com to learn about our cannabis company. You can go to Summit Accounting or Try Summit Accounting Partners.com to learn about our non-cannabis clients. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook at Ghost Crew Incorporated. So we try to be everywhere.
Fantastic. So what would you say to a business owner who was where you were maybe a year and a half ago, where you have the opportunity for growth and you're just kind of drowning in work and struggling to get the A players on your team? What advice would you give that business owner?
I would say just take a second and stop and think about what you want, because I'm really good at taking care of other people, but not my business. It's like the cobbler whose, kids have no shoes. That's me. And I would just recommend, Tap the Potential has done everything to kind of help us turn things around, and just stop and realize that you need help. And it's okay to ask for help. And I think that was another big stumbling block I had was, I'm an accountant. I help people. Why can't I help myself? But it's been really eye-opening to see things in a different perspective. So I would just give it a shot.
I love that. Just pause and ask yourself, what do you want? What's important to you? And for those of you listening, if you're in that place where your business is growing and you're trying to do everything to take care of your clients, but you're neglecting the business itself, I want to point out we have Caitlin here on the call or on the podcast with us. She is our success team lead. And when you go to tapthepotential.com and book a consult, you're talking to Caitlin, and she will help you get connected with us in the direction that's right for you. A lot of people like to start with our How to Hire the Best course because, hiring is a big challenge, and getting those A players makes a huge difference. You can check out the course at tapthepotential.com/group. But I recommend just book a call with Caitlin and let her hear where you are and guide you into what aspect of our services will serve you best. Tammy, we want to celebrate you for the Great Place to Work Spotlight. And I think it's important as we do that we acknowledge what goes into earning the Great Place to Work Spotlight, because it's not a light lift. There are significant things that you have done. You've gone through personal development as you've done those things. You've gone through leadership development as you've done those things. So when you come into the How to Hire the Best course, we know that if we just teach you a Band-Aid for hiring, like here's a fast way to get an A player on your team, that's a Band-Aid. It's not a long-term solution. And one of the worst things that can happen is that you get an A player and you don't retain them, because mishiring and turnover is so costly in a business. It's where a lot of the profit ends up leaking out of the business. And so we've set up the How to Hire the Best course, where every week you take small move forward action steps. And they build over time into helping you become that great place to work. And so Tammy has done all of those. And the beautiful thing about the How to Hire the Best course is the business owner doesn't have to do it all by themselves. You can invite your team members to complete the move forward action steps and support you. And you've done that, Tammy. And so it does become a group effort, and you've gotten buy-in from your team around supporting, improving the hiring and the interview process, and how you're attracting those A players and how you're training and onboarding them. And those are all small steps, but when you're taking them in a consistent direction, they lead to big change over time. And you and your team have done that. So we're celebrating you and your team here in the Great Place to Work Spotlight. And just want to give you a huge kudos for that, Tammy, for being that employer who cares.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Tammy.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right. Thank you for joining us today.